cooler restored. I mean, you literally have electricity with water. Not really the safest at all. Wattlings were top of the line, but the inside is missing all the parts. Finding each individual part could take forever. I got one of these for you, cowboy. That thing's probably been sitting there for 40 years. You get this machine in my room without losing any parts, I'll drink it. You lose a part, you drink it. Bet's on. Remember back in the day when things were made by hand and people took pride in their work? My name's Rick Dale, and I bring these things back to life. Every restoration has its own set of challenges. There's no owner's manual for what we do, but there's no job we can't handle. Today, a customer's dropping off an old Pepsi machine. I love doing Pepsi machines. They're a bit more rare and flashy, too. I came to Rick's today to have my 1940s Pepsi cooler restored. I've wanted a Pepsi machine for 40 years. So why the Pepsi machine? I don't get that very many requests for one. My mom and my brother, single mom, a treat for us was to go to the corner grocery store and get a Pepsi. My mom has passed away, but this will be a great reminder of how she loved Pepsi, and she took her two little boys to get a Pepsi for a treat. Awesome. That's what this stuff's made of anyways, is memories. That sound that it used to make, and that ice cold, it's like a taste of heaven coming right out, you know? What you have is a General Electric early 40s double dot Pepsi. There's two hyphens right here, and that was pre-45. Their slogan in this era was hits the spot. Prior to this, blue, Pepsi was actually yellow.
You're kidding.
Pepsi was all yellow. To support the war effort, Pepsi changed their colors to red, white, and blue in 1941. The dominant color in that color scheme has been blue. Pepsi blue. You had to come up and walk up to a gas station or something, and here this thing was sitting front and center, so you just dying to go and get yourself a soda. Coke and Pepsi have been battling since the day they began in the 1800s. What they did was you had a Coke bottle that was 6 ounces, and Pepsi actually came out with a bottle that was 12 ounces for the same exact price, for a nickel. And I remember the 12-ounce Pepsi to a kid. That was huge. That keep you running around all day. Yeah. Back in the 40s, there weren't giant drinks like there are today. I mean, it's crazy. Back then, 6-ounce drinks, that was a treat. And 12 ounces, that was the latest and greatest. Now people are getting 32-ounce drinks and even 64-ounce drinks. This particular unit was a water-cooled unit. You filled it full of water. The coils on the bottom got cold, allowing the water to get cold. It was probably the coldest bottle you possibly could get, because what happened is the water goes around the bottle and makes it an even coolness all the way up until you pulled that thing up. The only thing that people didn't like was that you had a little drippy water, you know? Inside, back in the day, the bottles were probably just laying in here. Most of the time, they had a cover over here so the customer couldn't touch it and get their fingers in there. You literally have electricity with water. Woohoo! I can imagine my 4-year-old going in there and stick his tongue in there. Hey, Papa! Woohoo! Getting a little jolt. Can we convert this so it's just, like a regular air-cooled refrigerator? It might and might not happen. I can try to redesign it. It is possible. I would have to try. I can totally understand why you didn't want this whole thing filled with water. It's not impossible, but it's not going to be easy either. We're going to have to re-engineer the compressors to take water out of the equation. To restore the whole thing from top to bottom, compressors, all the painting, restoration cost is going to be right around $3,500. Thanks for what you're going to do. I have 17 grandchildren. When they see this restored and realize they can open this chest and reach in and get a Pepsi anytime they want, they're going to want to keep coming to Papa's house. A few days ago, I got a call from a guy, and he wants me to come look at an old slot machine. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
This is Cowboy.
Hey, Cowboy. Nice to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
So this is it.
This is my 1930s roll top.
This is very cool. Looks like a Watling. A Watling roll top, early 30s. They actually were made in Chicago. And the thing that's cool about slots, where could you go in Chicago in that era? You had to go like a speakeasy or something like that to get get in there and gamble, Nothing was legal on that side,
Someplace you'd have to whisper behind the door.
That's right. Cowboy, you know what the nickname is for one of these?
Sure. One-armed bandit.
That's right. Why do they call it that?
Because only got one arm.
Because it stole all your money. Watlings were top of the line. They were hugely popular and very high quality. Nowadays, everything's electromechanical or totally electronic. They were made out of cast iron. Inside, it probably had, I would say, almost 500 parts inside, moving parts. The engineering in these was just a marvel, to be quite honest. When you put the nickel in this hole, it would spin, and it'd spin, and it'd spin, and it'd fill this whole thing up with nickels. As you pull the arm down, then it actually sent another lever over here to tell the reels to start spinning. And then you end up with the cherries or the lemons or the whatever.
Or money.
Or money. And then if you ended up winning a jackpot, it would fall down in this tray. This would open up and boom, all the money would come out here. That's what you'd hear and everybody turn around and go, hey. You know, it's actually just such a work of art. It's a crying shame that we've changed so much the way we do things. With over 500 moving parts in this machine, this thing's like a Swiss watch. Everything's got to be perfect in order for it to run smoothly. What would you like to do to it?
I'd like to see it original.
Working order?
Working order,
Beautiful.
drop a coin in, let the kids play with it, everything. Have a nice time.
Well, it's missing the reels and then all the parts that make it pay out, actually. I gotta be honest, normally a machine like this that was totally complete, I'd be right around $3,500 to restore. But because we're missing the parts in the back, and if I can find the parts, I'm gonna be right around $5,000, okay? This thing is a toss-up. The outside's not too bad. My guys can do it in a couple days. But the inside is missing all the parts. You gotta keep in consideration the machine like this, fully restored, beautiful, all working condition, is worth right around $7,500.
That's nice to hear. I sure hope you can find all the parts, make everything fit right, and I'm really excited about seeing it done. Sounds good to me?
All right, we're good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, great.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Most people that came in contact with these lost money. I hope that we fare a lot better than that. This Pepsi cooler is going to be a huge job. First thing we have to do is tear it into pieces. Cowboy is good at tearing stuff apart, and Kyle has such a good eye for detail, he's awesome at putting it back together. So I'm going to have him work on it as a team. I got one of these for you, Cowboy.
That thing's probably been sitting there for 40 years. I ain't drinking that. You drink it.
Tell you what, you get this machine in my room without losing any parts, I'll drink it.
No problemo.
You lose a part, you drink it.
I ain't doing that. It's stupid.
Afraid you're gonna lose a part?
No, I'm afraid you're gonna have to drink it and go to the hospital.
That's on.
That's on. It's got rivets in the bottom.
All right, we gotta drill that out.
We're gonna save the compressor in the cooling unit and convert it so it doesn't need water to work. It's important we don't kink the lines in it when we move it.
60 years old.
Look, Kyle! Pecan! We take all the chrome off so it can be polished. This thing's gonna look cool when we get done. It's gonna look even cooler when I'm drinking a beer while Kyle's drinking a 40-year-old Pepsi.
You're missing your lower fingers, your slides, your cover.
So can you track all this stuff down?
Could take forever.
Wow.
You stole my General Electric logo! There was a General Electric piece that was on the front of this machine. I'm gonna be in Pepsi hell if I can't find this part.
When I started on this slot machine, it was beat up and the mechanics were halfway missing. Drum roll. Bam! Oh. One of our projects is a slot machine. It's gonna be beautiful. The only problem is, it's missing about 50% of the mechanics inside. So I called in a specialist, and he's gonna take a look at it for us.
I own Las Vegas Antique Slot Machine Company. I've been restoring these machines for over 30 years. I have many favorite slots. I can't just pick out one. It's like when I was single, I had girlfriends. It was my favorite girlfriend. It's not right to pick one out, you know? It's a 1930s Watling roll-top slot machine. When they came out in 36, the coins were American coins.
Right?
All right, well, the government didn't like to copy an American coins.
Right?
So what Wilding did, they put a helmet on Lincoln. The buffalo, they turned into an elephant.
So they changed things around.
They had to change them. So they
wouldn't offend our government.
Right. Those old slot machines are filled with history. Everybody had them. The mob, Elks clubs, moose halls, small little casinos that people would set up, back rooms, everywhere.
The stuff on the front sort of looks like it's all complete. What we need is what's in back. All right.
Wow. Where do I start?
Yeah.
It's like a skeleton. You're missing your lower fingers, your slides, your cover. You're missing your timing levers. Somebody really gutted this. I think it might be easier to replace the mechanism, find one that's complete.
Because finding each individual part.
Could take forever.
What's it going to cost me once you get a mechanism to put it all back together, make it spit shined? What's that cost me?
$1,100.
Wow. All right. I need to get started on the outside, and the customer's waiting like usual.
Well, let's do it.
All right. Awesome. Thank you very much. Mike is going to take care of the inside mechanism for us because he specializes in this kind of thing, so he's going to be able to do it in half the time. It's going to be cheaper in the long run than to find all the little missing parts.
I guess we're gonna start from the back. No money in this sucker today.
Never money in slot machines.
You ever take one of these apart before?
Nope.
All right, we got it. Voila!
Voila!
That's tight.
After tearing down and sandblasting the Pepsi cooler, now it's time to paint. And there's only one color to paint this Pepsi cooler, and that's Pepsi Blue. In order to get the color Pepsi Blue, I ended up finding the inside of a machine by ripping it apart, and I matched that color. It was really hard finding that formula. When it's wet, it's not the same as when it's dry. Test after test, I finally nailed it. That Pepsi Blue pops.
This Pepsi machine came with a water-based cooler, which we're going to convert to air so that when the customer reaches their arms in there, they don't get wet. Let's put this new fan in.
I'll start wiring up the thermostat.
Okie dokie. Can't get it out of the bag.
Mount that sucker. Hold it down. Pressure's wired. Thermostat's wired.
The ground is on.
Gotta wait for it to get cold.
We're done then. Great. Take all the chrome off in this 1940s Pepsi cooler so it can be polished. All right, who stole my General Electric logo? There was a General Electric piece that was on the front of this machine. Somebody's come down here and hid it from me or something. I ain't drinking no 40-year-old Pepsi.
You lose the part, you drink it. That's on.
Bradley!
What's up?
Have you seen anything out of place? Small, shiny?
No, what are you looking for?
It's not that I trust Bradley, which I don't. I just know he ain't smart enough to play dumb. I'm gonna be in Pepsi hell if I can't find this part. We just got the internal mechanism for the slot machine back from Mike, and me and Kyle are gonna install it.
We break anything on this thing, we're screwed.
Gotcha.
Hold on, hold on.
My side's ready. There it is. Sweet. That looks perfect.
See if this thing's gonna work.
It better after all the work we put into it. Winner! Winner! Loser! Good. Let's go.
The customer's really gonna be happy with this.
Real happy.
When I started on this slot machine, it was beat up, the paint was falling off, and the mechanics were halfway missing. But we've been working extremely hard on it, and now it's time to show the customer just exactly what we're capable of. All right, Jim, you ready for this?
I've been ready for a while.
Right.
I'm really excited about seeing it done. Probably look really nice in my front room. A nice thing for guests to come over and play with. Dun, 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 drum roll. Oh, that's sweet. That looks spectacular.
Thank you very much. A lot of work, I'll tell you that.
I'll bet.
Okay, cabinet, had to tear it all down, sand it all down, make a new base, lacquer it, varnish it. We had to nickel plate everything because that's the way it originally was nickel. Then everything got all hand painted. And then on the inside, the mechanism was just robbed of all of its parts. So I got somebody that found us a mechanism, but then once he found the mechanism, he actually had to restore the mechanism.
What he's really trying to say is this was hard as hell.
Oh, look at that. All
Yeah.
fresh, nice, neat,
Nice.
new.
It's just an extreme nightmare inside there with more springs and levers. Anything mechanical in the day was an engineer's, I don't know if it was a nightmare or a dream. You know, it's total work of art inside there.
So this baby's fully functional. We can drop nickels in and make her spin.
Yeah, it totally works. Everything about it. Yeah, you want to throw some nickels in it?
Sure.
See how it tries out?
Yeah. Nickel number 1.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
First
Got it.
time.
First time a winner.
First time a winner.
That's what they call me.
It's 1 in 100.
It was pretty nice to be able to put the first coin in and have it pay off the first time. That was pretty cool.
The value on this is right around $8,500 to $9,500. It just keeps going up.
No, it's spectacular. Let's drop another nickel.
One-armed bandit strikes again.
Sure you're not missing anything.
I don't know, Kyle, what am I missing?
You just lost a bet. That's yours. I've wanted a Pepsi machine for 40 years. My kids will be very interested to see what I come home with.
All right, open your eyes.
Awesome!
A little while ago, we were working on this Pepsi machine. Kyle, being the perfectionist and that he is, we made a bet that I wouldn't lose any of the parts on this machine or I'd have to drink a 40-year-old Pepsi, which I ain't getting ready to do.
Missing anything?
Not that I know of. The Pepsi machine is almost ready to show the customer, except for I'm missing a little chrome piece that I think somebody snagged out of my box.
Go through all the pieces?
No, I haven't yet. I'm trying to get this together.
Easier to get together if you lay everything out and see what you got.
We go lay it all out, man.
Sure you're not missing anything.
I don't know, Kyle, what am I missing?
There's a little General Electric in it.
But I didn't lose it.
Guess what? You just lost the bet. That's yours.
I ain't drinking that nasty Pepsi.
That's the bet. Man up. Come on. All yours.
Oh, hell no.
That's the bet. Man up. Come on, bro. You can handle it.
Actually, it wasn't all that bad. It tastes better than some beer I've drank.
We've been working really hard to restore our customers' 1940s double dot Pepsi cooler. These things were beautiful back in the day, and I hope he thinks this is just as beautiful today. How you doing?
Hey, Rick. Great to see ya.
Good to see you again.
I'm very excited about this. I've wanted a Pepsi machine for 40 years.
I want you to close your eyes before you go in.
My kids will be very interested to see what I come home with.
Almost there. Almost there. You ready to see this?
I've been ready for 2 months.
All right, open your eyes.
Awesome. You and your guys have outdone yourself. How did you manage to get this thing so awesome?
It was pretty rough to start with. All the chrome came off, the cap catcher, all the rubber.
That's spectacular.
This machine has a lot of raised letters. 4 sides and 2 lids. Abnormal for any machine to have that much art. Where you would go into the store and there's no way you could miss it. The second guy, he's always shooting for number 1. Always. You can respect that, you know?
My mother used to take us to get a Pepsi, and I can remember those old coolers and reaching in there and pulling one out. It was ice cold. I'd take an hour to drink one Pepsi because we didn't get it very often.
I made you your front.
Yeah.
This used to be open here. We remade a piece of sheet metal and put edges all the way around it and mounted it inside there so it's all nice and tight. And then we took the bottle cap opener and it's all been chromed up inside here. So when you open it, it's got plenty of room for lots of bottle caps.
Oh, yeah.
Now the inside, if you remember, it was rusted out and you wanted it air. It used to be water.
Yeah.
So check this out.
Wow. That is neat.
It's all been sealed up to where this whole area inside here is going to keep everything nice and cool.
So this is just basically a refrigerator now, and I can put my Pepsis in there, and I'm good to go.
This is your evaporated cooler that keeps everything cool in the box. But around the corner here, this is your compressor. This is actually a motor. The motor is ran with Freon inside of it, allowing that top unit to get cold. It's all been redone.
To see it now after what it looked like, incredible. Just awesome. Thanks again so much for the great job you and your crew did.
It's a pleasure doing business with you. I love doing this stuff. So let me help you wheel this out.
Let's go.
Get
Let's
it loaded.
All right.
All right.
To see this machine again reminds me of my mother. She just loved Pepsi till the day she died, and she was awesome, and Pepsi was, and this machine is too.
Cowboy.
It's been here the whole time. Sorry, bro, I didn't see it.
Here, you get the other half.
Oh, hell no.
Drink your half. And I'll put my tongue in it. Serves you right. I hope you throw up.